Computer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Thursday call. What I like to call these calls Testimonial Thursdays, where we just dive into this company and this product. This product that came my way when about 4 months ago, back in January. I heard about this product that people are getting amazing health benefits from, and it really piqued my interest. In fact, one of my business contacts, friends for many years, he sends me different things, and he sent me some stuff on some other business. And funny enough, this was the thing that really stuck out for me because I know I needed to drink more water. And the mere fact is, everybody needs to drink water. So if there was a product out there that can help me, then I was definitely all ears. And so that was my journey. So guys, we're going to take you on a little bit of a journey for the next hour. I'm going to introduce you to this company if you never heard of them before, called Timol. And don't think, wow, this company's been around, it's just a brand new company, just launched. No, this company has been around over 2 decades, my friends. And is, for me, one of the hidden treasures. It's one of those best kept secrets. But now we know about it. We are making sure it's no longer a secret, because for most of their life, they've been in Brazil. And the last several years, they've started to expand outside of those Portuguese speaking countries, I would say, and now into English speaking countries. And that's why we are doing these calls on a Monday and Thursday. And so I'll give my hat off to those people who've helped bring this company over to this, side of the world. People like Simone, people like Natalia, who have helped expand this market. So let's get into it. We're talking about, guys, the most important thing is our health. Now, regardless of what you're doing for your day-to-day living, however you earn your money, without a shadow of a doubt, my friends, if you are not taking care of your health, whatever you make, whatever you do, all of that will become into insignificance, because you could be a multi-millionaire on here, and I know probably we have some people on the call who are that status, that if you are sick, the only thing you're thinking about, you're not thinking about, oh, your rental income coming from here or your this meme coin or whatever. You're thinking about how you can get your health back and whatever means you can do by doing that. And so we are hit, my friends, with a big challenge in our 21st century living with this, I will call fast food living lifestyle. I see these burgers and stuff like that. I live in North America. This is a normal staple for me. Growing up in the UK, I would always be kind of on the run, on the move, always, constantly. And so easily for me to do is to go and take some fast food while I'm out and about. Now, over time, if you're doing this on a consistent basis, it's going to have an effect on your body. Make no mistake. You might get away with it in your 20s and 30s, but there'll be a point where it'll start to catch up with you. And so, and I think you caught up with me, right? At some point. And so your body will tell you, dude, you need to change something. You cannot continue to do that to your body. And so we're going to look at what happens when you have too much acidity going on in your body, too much acidic foods, which are, it's all around us, and, a lot of the food is bankrupt. If you was to measure the foods that you're eating, that you're getting from these chains, or even if you go out to a restaurant and sit down and eat, again, a lot of the food hasn't got the nutrients that it used to have by default many years ago. So we're dealing with a different problem that we never had before. Now, on the flip side, you could be somebody who goes out there, make sure you get your kale, you get your spinach, your greens, you're spending good dollar, right? But the problem again is that this stuff is sprayed to death, like pesticides and all sorts of things that are used to grow crops quicker, may not have the nutrients like it used to have. In fact, the soil is depleted of any nutrients. Back in the day, it would have minerals that you could even think about, but now it's all about profit, my friend. So we are, I would say, in a way, we're kind of under attack. Our body is under attack. The things that are in the air we breathe, the whole nine, the water we drink, there's so many toxins out there. So is it all doom and gloom? Should you just jump off a bridge? No, of course not. We are talking about a solution. So if whatever problem you have out there, as an entrepreneurs know, if there's a problem out there, they're always looking for a way to make a solution. And you're going to hear about this company that's got a phenomenal solution to a massive challenge we have with our health. So this gentleman, And I'll be very surprised if anybody was alive when this gentleman won a Nobel Prize back in 1931. I'm going to introduce you to Otto Heinrich Warburg. He won a Nobel Prize on his thesis, which was the primary cause and prevention of cancer. Now, this is going back, research over 100 years ago. And I go on these calls, you know, and every week I say, look, do you think back in 1931, they had more of a cancer issue than we do have today? Anybody would like to hazard a guess? Put in the chat. Do you think we've got more of an issue today than we did back then? Bit of a pop quiz, okay? Well, personally, I believe we've got way more of a problem than we've ever had. Childhood cancers, different forms of cancers, leukemias, all sorts of stuff I never even heard of until I got into my 20s and 30s. And I was like, wow, we've got all of these cancer issues, cancer research and stuff like that. And it's like back in 1931, this gentleman demonstrated that all forms of cancer, I want you to hear me really good, all forms of cancer develop due to two basic conditions: acidosis, which is acidity of the blood, and hypoxia, which is lack of oxygen. Could you imagine? I couldn't imagine, even fathom, that having lack of oxygen in your cells could be a big problem, could be a cancerous issue. And therefore, even the acidity that the what I showed earlier, those fast foods, the carbonated drinks and all that kind of stuff, you know, will cause such a problem. Well, I knew this about 30 odd years ago, that cancerous tissues are acidic tissues and healthy ones are alkaline tissues. And the only reason why I knew that back over 30 years ago, because unfortunately I lost my cousin due to breast cancer at the age of about 39. Never quite reached her 40th birthday. And that was a really shock to the system. And so I really started to get myself more educated on this whole thing. And I started to fly to the States a lot. And I was going to these conventions and people were sharing with me natural stuff that would shrink tumors. I was blown away. I didn't think that existed. I was watching TV and they still were trying to find a cure for cancer. And yet these people are telling me, yeah, there's a cure. You know, you take this, you take that, you get some soursop, you get this. And I'm like, what? And so my mind was blown. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the same in 1931 as it is in 2026. Disease cannot survive in an alkaline body. So we've got a challenge, as I mentioned, with a lot of acidity in our body. Cancerous tissues feed off that. You know, they feed off sugary drinks. They feed off this stuff, right? So we need to get our body in a different state if we want to get a different result. You know what they say? Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting the same result. You cannot expect to get healthy and do the same thing that got you in the state in the first place. You cannot expect to get rich and do the same things that made you broke. And he's like, oh, you know what? I'll just keep doing it and something will change. No, it won't change. You'll just get older and more frustrated, but you won't have the solution you're after. So he says here, deprive a cell 35% of oxygen for 48 hours and it may become cancerous. Guys, I don't want to play with that, right? If that was an option for me to say, oh, if I deprive my cells, how can I not do that? Oh, have something that makes my cells receive the oxygen that it needs. That's what we're going to be talking about on this call tonight. Now, the other problem we have is a thing called free radicals, okay? And for those of you who do not know, a free radical is an isolated oxygen atom, and too much of that, like anything in life, it becomes harmful. So we do not want to have these, what you cannot see in the body, you know, you cannot see, you look at your skin, you can't see no free radicals, but it's doing damage internally, all right? And so this, again, this research was done back in 1954. Again, probably most of you or none of you was around in 1954. This is nothing new, my friends. So we're not dealing with a new issue. We're dealing with an issue that's always been there. Now, but how has it become to such a point with all of this information? We know so much information. We've got information on our fingertips, and yet we are one of the most unhealthiest generations out there. It's because of all of the things I started talking about at the start. Our lifestyle has made a big, you know, dent to our health, and what is happening to the crops. You know, they're being, like I say, they're being sprayed to death. They've been, it's all about profit, a lot, this stuff, guys. So if you're not growing your own, if you're not buying organic, you're almost like, oh my goodness, you know, you're at a bit of a challenge here. So guys, well, I'm so excited that we've got a product that really helps massively in those two areas that we're going to be sharing on this call tonight. So an overwhelming amount of information and studies have been shown between free radical damage and lifestyle disease. Lifestyle disease such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, age-related disease, degeneration, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, cancers, metabolic disorders. Now, this isn't me saying it. I didn't just put this slide on and thought, let me just put some nice bullet points on there. No, this is Dr. Richard Cutler. He is the former director of the National Institute of Aging. So he may know a thing or two about what causes Alzheimer's, what might cause early dementia and things of that nature. I never even heard of some of this stuff growing up, guys. And now it's just like, it's paramount. It's all around us. And there's different things that are causing this as well. Plastics, microplastics, it's just causing such a big issue in our day-to-day living. So he goes on to say the amount of antioxidants in your body is directly proportional to how long you will live. Okay? Big statement there, okay? So let's just have a look at that. When you have excess free radicals damage going on in your body, okay, you may find, like I said, one of the symptoms of that is premature aging. Okay, so it's not about masking the symptoms of you looking older. There's we know the beauty industry is a multi-billion trillion-dollar industry. All right, I don't know the numbers, but it's huge. You can buy this little cream and you're spending a fortune because it's got resveratrol in there and it's got this other stuff. But again, let's get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem could be you just got free radical damage and it's too much excess going on, causing you to look older than your time. Now, how can we reduce acidity and how can we reduce the free radicals in our body? I'm glad you asked, because we are going to do a deep dive on both of those things. I'm going to show you what happens when you have this chemical reaction with magnetized water. You're going to find out that all water is the same. Watch this 2-minute video and then I'm sure you will agree.
When we are thirsty, we fill a glass with tap water or drink some water from a plastic bottle. After all, water is water, right? Magnetized water is popular in Japan. But before we get to know its properties, it is important to understand how and what happens to magnetized water. If you take some water to analyze, you will notice that its molecules are disordered. This is because of the minerals. When submitted to magnetic fields, the molecules turn back into their normal state, which makes the water more beneficial to our health since it heightens the energetic balance of the body and strengthens the immune system in general. That's why magnetized water helps prevent many diseases of the human body. Did you know that more than 70% of our bodies are formed by water? We need to replenish water to eliminate toxins from the body, hydrate tissues and cells, help the kidneys, facilitate blood flow, to fight bloating and boost immunity. Some of the benefits of magnetized water are: helps in nutrition and hydration of cells, aids in cell cleanse, reduces blood acidity and the excess of free radicals in the body, increases the oxygen in cells and blood, makes the hair softer, moisturizes the skin, leaving it soft and healthy, aids in the prevention of many diseases, lowers blood sugar levels, preventing diabetes, helps prevent many types of cancer, reduces the risk of osteoporosis and fractures by increasing the bone density and bone resistance, avoids premature aging, increases energy levels. According to studies published by the National Institutes of Health, USA, drinking magnetized water means more quality of life. If you already knew about magnetized water, tell us what you think.
Absolutely. We are going to tell you exactly what we think about this amazing technology called magnetized water. Now, my friends, we talk about how we're going to reduce excess free radicals and excess acidity in the body. All right, so we're going to really dive on that. So the chemical reaction, as you heard, of water when supermagnetized is known as water hydrolysis. So H2O dissociates into OH minus and H plus. So you've got hydroxide ions on one side and you've got hydrogen ions on the other side. As a byproduct of that, or as a result of that, you've got these clusters, these hydrogen ions. And, without a doubt, my friends, I believe, the reason why I was struggling to drink, my recommended amount of water, which for somebody my size was at least 2 liters. I was nowhere, I don't know if I was ever really hitting 2 liters, right, of water. I didn't like the taste of water. I don't know if you guys can relate to what I'm saying here, but that was a challenge. Now, the other aspect to it was I was spending good money on this water, bottled water and stuff, but I just wasn't drinking enough. So I wasn't really getting the benefits on the day to day to really help my body operate. And I spoke about minerals not being present anymore in the soil, so a lot of things, the crops and stuff, were missing stuff, being sprayed to death. So when you add what we're going to add to the mix, which is calcium and magnesium, into the mix, you find minerals. Going to find that in what we're doing with this hydrolyzed oxides, you're going to get this alkaline reaction, which is what our body needs to get into. We want to get our bodies back in a state of being in a healthy state. As we mentioned at the start, our bodies want to be more alkaline than they want to be acidic. Okay, so this forms this alkaline hydroxides, calcium, magnesium, and when you're consuming magnetized water, guess what? It reduces the body's acidity, okay, by default. So my friends, I don't know more for more straightforward way on the planet than not having to go out and buy, change your buying habits, not going out there having to buy a product that you have to replace every month, or a capsule that you have to put in your water to drink. It's just there by default. You put it in your water bottle and you drink, and it's there forever and a day. And I'm going to show you what it looks like in more detail. So we're talking about one thing, the acidity. What about the free radicals, you ask? Well, this is a game changer, my friends. When you drink this water, this magnetized water, the hydrogen ions react with the excess free radicals that's in your body, forming water. Now, I didn't know this. All I knew was when I first got this water, man, I was going to the bathroom more regular than I've been in a long time. And is that a bad thing? Some people might think, oh, that's so inconvenient. I'm gonna go to the washroom, right? No, my friends, your body needs to remove excess. Excess skin needs to be, it's your biggest pore is your skin. All of that excess needs to be sweated out. Imagine if you're not sweating. Overnight, we lose so much when we sleep. And then we get up in the morning, we're starting from a dehydrated state. So you can imagine if your routine is get up in the morning and you have something acidic to drink, and you just go and get your something that's going to dehydrate you, which is like your coffee, something like that, for example. Imagine just doing that on the regular, and you're wondering, oh, you're getting headaches, or you're feeling a bit sluggish, and even though coffee's meant to give you that boost, right? But your body needs water. Your brain is made up of water. Your organs are made up of water. So you got to put your body in a state where it's got a chance. So even if you knew this, that your body is more than 70% water, it's not like the first thing on my mind. Like, oh yeah, I know 70%, but I just can't stand the taste of water. All right. So you're gonna put yourself in a not in a good healthy state by not giving your body what it needs. Your body's gonna find a way. Trust me. Your body, if you deprive your body of something, your body's gonna find a way to protect itself. And you don't want your body to try and find it internally. You want to give it what it needs, which is water. It's just like your car. Your car, for example, you're driving your car around, and your radiator is like low on water, and it's like, you know what? It should be at the point where it's got like at least 70%, but I'll just run it for about 20, 30. I'll see how far I get before the car breaks down or steams. No, you logically would not do that, would you? The same thing with your body. You would not want to run your body down to you say, oh my gosh, I feel so run down. I've got a headache. I feel so lethargic. But unfortunately, that's what happens. We're so busy doing the other things that sometimes we neglect the very thing that we should have the most focus on. Okay? I'm guilty. I'm the first one to raise my hand, right? So busy doing X, Y, Z that I'm not taking care of the most important thing. And one thing, like I said at the start, you can make $1 trillion. You start losing your health. Guess what? All your focus and energy is getting yourself better. And whatever money you've made, you was paid the most expensive consultant to get you back on your feet, because that is how paramount getting good health is. But we don't need to go there, guys. We can take care of this. And like I said, this is a great solution, what I'm sharing with you. Water determines disease, as you see. Water determines health. Appropriate, adequate water restores health. Ionized water hydrates, alkalizes, antioxidizes, and detoxifies. Water can be used as a medicine. Dr. Laya Ribeiro mentioned that. Now, I always talk about, every week I talk about this. Do I have my book to hand? I do have my book to hand. Look at that, my friends. It's never far from me. This book here, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. This gentleman here, over 30 years ago, again, I started to really start to look at my health. And, you know, when my cousin was sick, and I was like, man, how can I find out more about looking after my body and stuff like that? Because it really wasn't, you know, paramount, you know, at that point. I was just eating, chucking whatever food down my throat that I wanted. And there was no consequence, right? So I looked at this book, and this guy he wrote and he treated over 3,000 inmates. He had a captive audience, right? He was a doctor in Tehran, and these guys were literally dying, and he treated them with water, my friends. How powerful is that? So he didn't have to go to a pharmaceutical drug and you know, buy this product. No, he treated them with water. So one thing I know, guys, the power of water is sometimes we almost don't truly recognize it. Now, as I mentioned, I didn't drink a lot of water, right? I didn't really like the taste of water. If you are in that same camp as me and you're not fantastic doing doing handstands on water, I would rather drink something else, because I just couldn't, to be honest, I couldn't take the taste of it. It was dry. It was, it didn't matter how much I spent. I still wasn't drinking enough water. I thought, oh, I'll spend more money. I'll buy a more expensive quality brand of water. That didn't make a difference, my friends. I still had a challenge drinking water. Well, that was before I got introduced to what I'm sharing with you now, because I'm just like night and day, my friends. And my body can tell you, yes. If my body can talk, it will tell you, yes, this guy has made a transformation in his health. And you're going to hear from not just me, you're going to hear from other people a bit later on today. But one thing, this slide really spoke to me, because this was what's happening for me. I was drinking water when I was drinking it, you know, but was it really hydrating me? No. You know, I still wasn't feeling on top of the world like I do now. And so we're going to show you the difference between water that does hydrate against water that does hydrate. And so, my friends, let's just have a look at this. This is, if we could look at some people's blood under a microscope and see what's happening, they may not be swimming in a great environment, my friends, to just put it put it bluntly. If you're not, let's just look at this. We spoke about your body receiving oxygen, your cells receiving oxygen, like that beautiful fish tank on the left hand side. You can see there's bubbles at the top, there's life there, you know. And one thing I know about human nature, people, you spend money on something, that's where your attention goes, right? You're going to make sure, you know, you're not going to spend something and just like neglect it. But again, that's what, unfortunately, what happens with us for the most part. And some people just don't even know any better, right? Now, if you can see that your cells are looking like that, in swimming in an environment that is all clumped together, right? Like you heard on the video before the meeting started, I played that video because that doctor was speaking about, you imagine, you know, your cells swimming in an environment that is just like not fluid for them. You're going to have a problem. Your body's going to tell you you have a problem. So water, my friends, should be looking like what we see on the left, and should be moving. You imagine in nature, when people try this water that I'm sharing with you, and of course, you can't taste it through the Zoom screen, right? But you're going to understand that, you know, water should be like this. It should be moving, not when it's sitting in a warehouse and then you buy it from the supermarket and then you drink it and you're wondering why. And this is what I was saying. I'm wondering why I wasn't getting any benefits. I wasn't feeling really, what's the word? Hydrated from drinking it. I was just drinking this thing and that was it. It was just like, okay, drink it. I'll just drink it alongside anything else. Because my water wasn't like this, my friends. Now, I'm going to introduce you to let me introduce you to my little friend. This here, my friends, can you see this? This is a magnet, okay? What this magnet is going to do is going to be like a telephone booth did for Clark Kent, for those of you who are superhero fans. This is a game changer. This on its own. I'm going to introduce you to another friend in a minute. Those two together is a game changer. What this does, it puts the water back in the state of when it was like this. When people drink the water that I share with them, they come across this product, the first thing they tell me, oh, it's refreshing. And these are people that don't drink water like me. I was the same person. And I kept hearing this before I came to London, was like, oh, this water is so refreshing. And I said, come on, how refreshing could it be? Until I drank it myself. And then that was it. Conversation over. I'm like, I'm now converted, right? And people say, yeah, it's like one of the springs in Jamaica, like when they drink it straight from the faucet, not sitting in a warehouse. Like when I get my water, I have to clean it. There's dust on it. I don't know how long it's been sitting in a warehouse. I know that's not the original state that water was bottled at source. It was been sitting somewhere with all the elements hitting it, and it wasn't like that. So I'm going to play the short video, 2 minutes video, my friends. And I want this guy to really break down what exactly this product does when it hits water and why you might not feel the benefits of the water you're drinking. So give me 2 minutes and I'll be back.
First, the water that most people drink has lost its original structural characteristics from when it was alive in nature. In springs, streams, and rivers, water is constantly moving. This favors its oxygenation, in addition to its structure being composed of small molecules, which increases its hydration power in the body. When water is stored or kept in containers, its surface tension is altered. Thus it becomes much heavier, with the formation of large molecule clusters, which are completely disorganized and lose oxygen. This molecular change compromises the penetration of water into cells that form organ tissues. But the original characteristics of water, so necessary for a good cellular hydration, can be restored. This is where magnetic treatment comes in. When water is subjected to a magnetic field, an event called hydrolysis occurs, which means breaking up of water. That is, the movement caused by the molecules causes a rupture of the clusters and promotes rearrangement into much smaller structures. Thus, these H2O molecules penetrate the cells much more easily, promoting better cellular hydration and cleaning. The second point observed in the various studies carried out with magnetized water is that it contributes to a reduction of excess of free radicals. How does this happen? When water undergoes magnetic treatment, there is an ionic dissociation, that is, the H2O water molecule formed by 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom breaks up, releasing hydroxyl ions and hydrogen ions. Excess free radicals that are present in the body are negative ions, and they combine with hydrogen ions, forming new H2O molecules, thus removing them from the body. This is a very simple chemical equation that has been observed by several researchers. The third point is about the contribution to the maintenance of blood alkalinity, helping the mechanisms of our body. In hydrolysis, as we have seen, there are negative hydroxyl ions left over. This hydroxyl reacts with magnesium and calcium ions present in vital environments of our body, forming alkaline hydroxyls, in this case magnesium and calcium hydroxyls. These reactions help in the maintenance of blood pH and oxygen content. It is for all these reasons that water treated magnetically helps in the maintenance of good health.
Unbelievable, my friends. I love that. And we're going to dive into that on the next slide, guys. We're going to talk about exactly what he mentioned, so you can see it for yourself. So you saw that breakdown, right? At the start of the call, I spoke about there's a challenge that we have with getting enough water into our cells. Okay, so check this out. If this is your cell, your regular cell in your body, you need these 3 things to maintain, and there's everything that your cell is going to be wanting to be healthy around, which is getting enough nutrients, getting it being hydrated, getting enough oxygen in it. At the start of the call, we spoke about what happens when your cells do not receive oxygen. What happens? Major problem, yeah? Not my research. Research from a Nobel Prize winner. who talked about the effects of that can turn into cancerous tissues. So let's have a look at that. Water without magnetic treatment. This is probably the reason why I wasn't enjoying water before. This is your typical cell. This is the bottleneck that happens. Okay, so these clusters we spoke about earlier is a challenge in order for the water to penetrate. Why? Because of that bottleneck. The cells aren't receiving enough water. Better, the best we're getting is partial penetration of molecules. Partial, my friends. So that's what happens when water does not hydrate, which is why you could be like me, drinking water when you did. Maybe I wasn't such a big advocate of water back then, and maybe not getting all the benefits that we know we should get. So check this out. When you magnetize your water, like I said, this bad boy here that I have in my hand is a game changer. It breaks down the molecules. So instead of them being clustered, big, can't penetrate, it's now light enough to go in, which is why, my friends, people are saying, oh my gosh, why is it so lighter and more tastier? This is the reason. So for me, it was fantastic. I was sold because I knew I wasn't drinking enough water, and my body would tell you, yes, this dude was not drinking enough water, right? He was drinking too much Tim Hortons, but not enough water, right? So that was happening. So the magnetization that takes place breaks up the clusters, decreasing water hardness, promoting hydration and total nutrition of cells. Now, guys, there's many companies out there that are doing magnetized water. I don't see any company doing what this company has done, and I've yet to introduce you to the other part of the equation, which makes this an absolute game changer, and for me, a no-brainer product for people to get. So there's 3 benefits. Alkalizes the blood, reduces excess free radicals, and improves oxygenation. You saw that on the call, on the video. And if you get that, you're talking about good health, good quality of life. That's the company's main goal. Like if there was if the only thing that company did was that, they've done that. 100% ready, top of the class. They've done that. And they've expanded their product line to different products to complement this product. Now, it's not just me talking about it. It's not just the CEO of the company talking about it. No, the World Health Organization. You say who? Yeah, exactly. The World Health Organization officially declares, that's my little joke, guys, you gotta laugh at that, officially declares the recognition of the suitability of the Brazilian company Timol. Now, I'm not going to read all of that. You can take a screenshot of it. But I just want to highlight something. It says that this was 10 years after the company opened, right? This company got formed in 2004, 22 years ago. And was the world welcoming them? No. They didn't want this information out there, right? We know why. I don't need to go there. That's a completely different ball game, and I don't mind Zoom to be shut down. Why certain information may not want to be paramount out there. But check this out. They said that the only one complying with the standards and requirements of this institution for adopting a system or method of magnetic water treatment or correction as a system or method of health, protection, and recovery with scientifically proven efficiency. Okay, like I said, there's a lot of information about this product. So guys, I feel this is my drum roll moment. I want to introduce you to this product called Timol. This is a mega version of the product. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to introduce you to my other little friend, which is the green one. So the blue one, let's talk about the magnet first of all. This is a product, my friends, which is going to save you time and money. I'm not going to talk about the pricing of the product and all that kind of stuff. Whoever's invited you on can talk to you about that. I'm just going to talk to you about the benefits of getting it. So the effects of magnetized water, for those who can read on the screen, it shows you that alkalization of the body and the blood. If it did that on its own, I would buy this all day long. Okay. Now, how about increase in bone mineral mass? This is where I'm going to introduce you to my other friend here. This is the minerals, the green one. You put these two together, my friends, they are your dynamic duo. Like I said, I like superheroes. These are my Batman and Robin, right? You have this. This is a major defense for your body. And so my M&M, minerals and magnet, right? Magnet, minerals. Don't forget it. Interchangeable. Don't leave home without it. I do not. I guarantee you, everywhere I go, I've had my cell phone in one hand, my water bottle is in the other, with the product sitting in there, right? It's as simple as that. So let's talk about the increase in bone mineral mass. You know, as people age, as we age, we all age. Hopefully, God gives us an extended life, and we want to live our best lives as we age, right? Now we know, as we age, our bones get more brittle. You know, we know, if you don't know, osteoporosis as people age. You know, our loved ones, we are very, you know, what's it called? Frightful if they fall, because the bones, when it breaks and stuff like that, takes a longer time to heal. Now, we've heard testimonials like crazy on doctors asking, how is your knee healing so quick, from people who've had knee operations and things of that nature, broken bones? How is it healing so quick, my friends? There's something we have on our hands, which is what I'm talking about right now. Increase in blood oxygenation, so important. As you heard at the start of the call, of the effects of not getting proper oxygen into your cells, what the detriment is that for that. So increasing minerals by Top H Plus, this product here, the green one. So this is a, you know, a dolomite stone. It's got the calcium, it's got the magnesium in there, and this product here, my friends, this will treat up to 20 liters of water. Now, you may not need to have a 20-liter product. You may not need to have a water that has 20 liters, but it will treat up to. So if you've got a family, this, you know, you can have it for yourself. You can share it with your family, with your friends. You know, if your friends come over, they want to try the water, you know, you can charge them top dollar. No, not really. You can just give them the refreshing water. Even the people that do not like to drink water, do a blind water test. And then, you know, I don't know if you remember back in the day, they had Pepsi, the Pepsi challenge, and they, you know, blindfolded people, and you tried to tap Pepsi, and you was meant to have said, oh yeah, this was Pepsi. This is Timol's super mineral magnetizer. Absolutely game changer. We do have a smaller product, the mini one, that treats up to 3 liters. They both do the same job, my friends. Now check this out. When I say that this is the best product, cost pound for pound, dollar for dollar, euro for euro, naira for naira, when you buy this, you're not buying this again for 30 years. Now, I want you to make sure you hear me good, as my really good and plenty, as my pastor would say. 30, 30 years, you do not need to replace the magnet. What about the minerals, you say? 3 years. So mark on your calendar. If you decide to buy this product, you are not buying another thing replacement for 2029 June. Mark my words. And that is, for me, absolutely amazing. So how do you use this? You can use this in a water bottle. You can use this in your water jug. You can have your dispenser at home with a little tap on the front. Whatever the method, as long as you put it in something, so that you put it in there, give it about 20 minutes for it to super magnetize your water, supercharge it. I believe they say from the very time you take it out of the product, out of the packaging, leave it for an hour, let it incubate, and then drink it. Then after that, every 20 minutes, boom, it's ready, supercharged, and you're ready to go, right? So we've got something which is an absolute on-the-go product. I take this everywhere I go, whether I travel through the airport, they ask me what's in that, and I want them to ask me, guys. They can. My water bottle is transparent for a reason. I want them to ask me, what is that? And I said, oh my goodness, you never heard about. And then, you know, do my sales pitch. You know, don't give me an opportunity to make a pitch. So again, technology recognized internationally. All right, a lot of research has been done. Go online. You know, you may, you know, go on YouTube. Don't do it right now. Stay locked in. Right. You can watch our go on YouTube after and watch our replay of this video. You can go and look. There'll be a lot of testimonials. A lot of it will be in Portuguese, my friends, because that's where the company spent most of its years, 18 years in Portugal, and it's now just starting to venture out into these English-speaking countries and other countries, languages around the world, right? But we've got now a good library of testimonials which are just unbelievable. And this is why I look forward to these calls every Thursday like crazy. Now, this gentleman, I'm going to, by God's grace, meet this guy, shake his hand in Brazil, or if he ever decides to travel to North America or wherever he may travel to do an event or whatever, man, I'm there. Because I want to shake this guy's hand. Because I've been on this planet a long time and I've never come across a product that has done what this done for me, guys. This was my Clark Kent moment where, you know, I didn't need a phone booth to put on a super cape and, you know, become Superman. This allowed me to get way more mobility in my hip than I've had in over a decade. And I won't go into all my whole thing around this. But this gentleman, he knew the dangers of not having good quality water in Brazil. And you're going to see some testimonials in a minute that are absolutely mind-blowing. He knew the dangers of consuming poor quality water over long periods. Mr. Carlos Henrique founded this company in 2004. 22 years, guys. This is what you call a legacy company. You know, if you're looking for one, you found one. It's right here, right in front of you, right? Best kept secret. I literally cannot believe that I only knew about this in January of 2026, almost 22 years later. But that's testament to what this company's done. You know, we've heard from his daughter on one of these calls before. We've heard from Lucas, who's his son-in-law. You know, this is a legacy company. It will outlive us. All right. Nobody's going to stop drinking water. Right. They're going to constantly need to drink water. And I feel the need to drink better quality water is only going to increase as we go on, as we age. This is going to be even more important than it maybe was 22 years ago. And so, you know, I love that. I love hanging around people who are entrepreneurial. He saw a problem and he came with a solution. People thought he lost his marbles. Like, why? What are you doing? This magnetized water? And this guy was in his own endeavors, a very successful businessman. And so they thought, man, what are you doing? You've lost your marbles, like messing around with water here. And no, he knew, right? Thank God he had the vision. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this call today. We'd be on another Zooms or doing something else, right? So thanks for sharing this hour with us. 22 years in the market, guys. Certification of integrity. Headquarters in Brazil. They are looking to expand and have different places where they're going to put their footprint on based on, you know, demand. So, you know, we are literally at the beginning of something absolutely amazing with a 22-year-old company to back it. If you want to go online, find some research, go to Google Scholar, not Google, your regular Google, Google Scholar. You'll find articles published on the research done on here. And guys, we're expanding 20 countries and growing. Okay, actually way more than 20 countries, but anyway, more than, as it says here, more than 20 countries around the world that we are in. Now, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be talking, we're going to be sharing some testimonials. One thing I want to make 100% paramount, concrete, clear for everyone to see is that we are not here to make health claims. We're not here to say Timol is going to cure you of your disease that you've had for since whenever, right? We're not here to do that. Not at all. I'm not anyway. I'm definitely not. What we're going to tell you though is this product will magnetize water. What I'm going to tell you is magnetized water will be essential to health treatment. What I'm going to tell you is this product, these two together, will help reduce acidity and free radical damage in your body. Okay? Now, don't take my word for it. Okay? There may be other people that may want to chime in at this point. So if anybody wants to raise their hand, they want to come on, share a comment, share a testimonial, raise your hand. We'll come to you and hear from you and see what this product has done for you. Like I said, I've only been involved in the product since February, since I got my hands on it when I was in London, and I've not been the same since. And I've not missed a call since. I've not missed a week being on these calls since I came into knowing about this product. All right. So while people are waiting to, you know, figure out if they're going to say something or not, I want to show you some amazing, mind-blowing testimonials, guys, because I didn't know the effect of one product can have so many different outcomes. I've never seen that. And I've seen many health products out there, right? I've been involved in different companies, fantastic companies that have been around for decades and are still here today. And they have 1,000 different products for 1,000 different things. I've never seen one product, guys, that gives you the results that I'm going to show you in a minute. All right. So I see Harold. He's itching. He's chomping at the bit, as we say, to share. And I'm not sure what he's got on. I'm gonna have to mute his camera. Hold on one sec. Let me block his camera just so that you guys do not get put off. No, over to you, Harold. Share. Um, what your experience has been since getting involved with the product, and
Well,
over to you.
well, first of all, you can see I'm dressed in my Sunday best, to my Chelsea outfit. So I must make an apology.
Yeah, yeah,
I got
yeah.
my
We made
tie here.
apologies for you. No worries. Gosh, we'll cut this.
Well,
We'll
first
cut
of
this out on the recording. No worries.
all, well, first of all, thank you. As per usual, great presentation, Leroy. Now, I'm going to say something to everybody that's cool. I'm not new to this water business. It's been about 16, 17 years. This is the third water business I've been involved with. I need to say to you that this is mind blowing. Now, I'm going to say to you, I've been talking to you the last couple of weeks about my four personal testimonials. I've got a fifth one. Well, first of all, for the new people, when I first got involved with this, I'm a dancer as well. So I went to Bognor Regis, a bit of dancing. I was at the hotel, I had some food, and it was horrible. And I drank about a litre of this water. And let me tell you something. I mean, some of us here will understand, especially from the African Caribbean community, when you had a washout, well, that's what actually happened to me. I had three baths that weekend in that hotel. It cleaned me out, flushed me out. Anyway, that was the first testimony. The second one was I actually for the last 5 years, I don't like own up to it, but I suffer with hay fever. March and April for the last 5 years, where I got itchy sore eyes. I scratch them and I itch them until they're sore red and sneeze and stuff. But my eyes always sore, scratching and itching. Anyway, it was Glenn that said to me that you should try and spray your eyes with it. So I put some of the magnetized water in the spray bottle. I sprayed my eyes with it. I'll tell you this now. March, April, May, now June, no sore, no scratching, no itching, no soreness in my eyes because of this water here. I was like, wow, this is a miracle. The third testimony is I've got a 14-seater minibus, which I drive my under 12s football club on a Sunday normally. And we took them to our favourite club, Chelsea's training ground in Cobham. And it's quite a distance. So I didn't bring my water with me because I drink it water a lot and I stop at the toilet for quite a lot. Anyway, the next day I went to the post office to post some mail, and I had this heavy, heavy migraine. I'm like, how can I have a migraine? I'm drinking water. I forgot that the day before I never drank any water at all, so I was dehydrated. So I got home, got my bottle, and started to drink my water. I left my house and went to my friend's house, who lives 12 minutes from here. When I got out to his front door, I went, hang on a minute, my migraine's gone. Now, normally, when I have a migraine, I'm dehydrated, it takes 2.5 hours, sometimes 3 hours of drinking water for my migraine to go. 15 minutes, 15 minutes, and it's gone. My fourth testimony, now some of you can relate to this. I like to snack out, have those my favorite mini cheddar crisps. I'm eating them. I haven't ate one the last 2 weeks now. When I'm eating it, I can actually taste the oil. Like, ugh. And also, when I'm eating certain sweets, I can taste the sugar. I'm like, wow. So this is causing me to stop craving. Stop craving. Fact. Now, I'm going to say something to you. This is very graphic, but true. My fifth testimony was I was in Portugal last week. Well, came back a week and a half ago. Rushed back to get to my event we did last week. Rushing around, and stressing out. Jumped out of the car and slammed the car with my finger in the door. Right now, I'm not asking for sympathy. This is reality. So I lost the nail of my finger, right, and a little bit of bone. Now, it was painful, and I had to miss my flight, came back late in the evening, Anyway, still did the event and a bandage and plaster man in a sling. That was Saturday. Went to hospital on Monday night. I waited 7 hours. When I got seen to Tuesday morning, the nurse said to me, "Wow, that has healed up quite quickly." Right? I was like, "Wow." So I've had a dressing, and I went yesterday to get it redressed again. And the other nurse said, "Wow, that's very healed up very quickly. Next week I'll have to take this off now and have it openly." Now, for me, I've got a clue, but two different nurses said, "Wow, that's healed up very quickly." And I can only say one thing, 'cause I'm drinking this water here, yeah, and the fact, I don't feel no pain. Obviously, it's sore when you touch it because it's very sensitive, but it's healing up very well. So, yeah, that was my fifth testimony. Now, my also other testimony is a friend of mine who, when I actually got a call from her 4.5 weeks ago, that it was that call from she wanted to use my minibus for her auntie. I said that well, 'cause I booked out that day. How you feeling? She said, "Well, I'm in hospital, it's stage 4 breast cancer." I went, "What? No, hang on a minute. I'm going to Natalia's house. The woman who got me involved in this, because of her testimony, she survived breast cancer." I said, "I'm going to call you later on when I get to Natalia's house." I rang Natalia, got to Natalia's house. We rang my friend. Natalia spoke to her. I said, "Right, don't worry, don't stress, be relaxed, be calm. Harold's going to come and see you tomorrow with your water device." So I went to IKEA. I bought a 5 liter glass container to put the water in. Actually charged up, treated 5 liters in a container to bring with me, and the devices. Went into the hospital. I'm not too sure if one of the cousins is here. Went to the hospital, saw my friend, and by her bed was her best friend and her cousin by the foot of her bed. And as the cousin said, "Oh, I don't drink bottled water. I only drink fizzy water." I said to her, "Fizzy water's acid." I said, "Nurse, can I have 3 cups, please?" Gave me 3 cups. I poured one for the cousin, one for the friend. I drank one. I gave my friend her water, and she was drinking it, drinking, because she's on a drip. She hasn't had a chemo. She got all the drugs being pumped up like a zombie. After about half an hour, she went, "Oh, oh, gosh, oh, sorry about the smell, guys." Obviously, she's whatever, right? And this cousin who doesn't like water said, "Can I have another cup, please?" I was like, "Wow." The next day, I rang my friend in the hospital. She goes, "Harold, the swelling's gone down in my hand." Spoke to her 3 days later. She says, "Harold, it's the best I've felt in a while. Thank you." And I ring her twice a week. I rang her last week, Saturday, and she said to me, what's time before, that she's had her tests and they become negative, 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 negative. She said, "Errol, I've got to say thank you. Expect a call from my auntie and my cousins." Now that made me sort of, obviously emotional and, almost in tears when I think of joy that somebody with stage 4 breast cancer is getting a good result. Yeah. And that to me, no one can't tell me this product doesn't work. My 5 personal testimonies and my personal friend and many others. And I'm telling you this now, this is my full-time business. I put everything on hold. I'm doing this. And what I like about it is helping and changing lives. So there's also some people on the call whose parents, people are going through things. Actually, what I'm doing, every again, I give out 2 liters of water to people to try, yeah, and test. And from that, people come back to me saying, "Yeah, oh, yeah." So basically, this is what we do. So I'm here. I'm gonna love this because it's something which is so phenomenal. And what Leroy said, I can't wait to go to Brazil and meet the CEO personally and say thank you. You've actually become something I've seen, something I'm part of, which is phenomenal, life changing. So all I'm saying to you, if you're here for the first time, right? What can I say? Most important, you should be drinking water anyway. But good clean water, and I've got to say, I know I talk a lot. I'm doing a lot of research, and this is something as well. We're gonna have another slide very soon. There's 12 things you need to understand about this, right? Water impacts on health conditions. Number one, kidney stones. Number two, urinary tract infections. Three, constipation. Four, dry skin. Five, Alzheimer's, dementia, headaches, migraines. Six, fatigue and low energy. Seven, high blood pressure. Eight, joint pains. Nine, water tension. 10, dizziness and fainting. 11, nighttime walking. And 12, weight gaining. Now, who do you know that's suffering from some one of those? There you go. So I'll leave you by saying this. You leave home with your mobile phone. Don't leave home without your water, which is more important. That's my time.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Love it. Love it.
Well,
Fantastic.
well, well done.
Or your
Well
Augusta,
done.
your signal is
Well
terrible.
done,
Hold on, Augusta.
guys. Well
I'm gonna
done.
mute you.
I'm happy.
Hey, Augusta, your line is terrible. I'm gonna mute your line. If you can do something about your signal and then come back on. But your line is terrible. Anybody else, guys? That was a really powerful set of testimonials there from Harold there. Anybody else wants to share? I'm going to post in the chat. There's a previous meeting we did again, which is testimonials, a bit more about the business as well. But anybody else wants to raise their hand? If not, I'm going to move on. Let me just say Augusta to get her signal back. Hopefully we can get her back on. I think she's dropped off. Yeah, so hopefully we can get her back on and hear what she has to say. Augusta is one of the leaders in this company and helped basically the reason why I'm here, because the person she shared this with, I believe that was the root. I can't remember the lineage now, but you know, she was instrumental in being shared. Ah, she's back. Turn your video off. Your video is not gonna. You're gonna lose up bandwidth. Turn the video off. If you're gonna share, I'm gonna stop the video. All right. What I'm gonna do, guys, so that we're not eating up time. We'll come back to you a bit after
Hello, good
Augusta.
evening, everyone. Good evening.
Oh, that's a bit better. Yeah, go for it.
Hello, good evening,
Evening.
everyone. No, I just want
Evening.
to say I'm so happy to hear all these testimonies. I'm so happy. I'm in Africa. I don't have a good signal here, but I'm so happy for all you is my children. I'm so happy.
Awesome.
God bless you. God bless all of you.
Bless
God
you.
bless you. I'm coming back very soon by the grace of God
Awesome.
to meet my children. All of you is my children.
There you go. Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
You guys doing
Enjoy.
well. You guys doing well. Well done.
Bless you. Bless you. So yeah, Augusta is the queen, man. This
Bless you
lady
too.
is relentless, man. She's a really good in the business. We got Victorious. Wow, what a name. If that's your actual name, my goodness. We have to give you the floor. So do you want to come on camera? You got your hand raised, and we'll put the floor over to you. Over to you, my friend.
Hello, my name's Melinda.
All right.
I heard about the product through Harold,
All right.
who was just speaking, and
Yeah.
he was talking about my friend's experience. She's like a sister to me. I
Oh,
have
wow.
seen what it's doing for her. Um, she actually has some water, and my face. I have sarcoidosis, so I'm getting mine tomorrow. But
Wow.
my face was flaring up, part of my sarcoidosis, and nothing actually helps with it because it's
Right.
an autoimmune issue. She gave me some of the water in a bottle, and again, like Harold, I sprayed it, yeah, and I've not had any of it come up in my face again.
Wow.
That was a
Wow.
few weeks ago. It's like I said, it's an autoimmune issue. So I have no control over what it does, how it does it, when it does it.
Wow.
Mm.
But it's look, all
Wow.
hair was
Wow.
dark. Yeah. So, and I've been trying to it's a big politics about me. I've been trying to get it, but then life and things get in the way. But I'm getting it tomorrow,
Mm.
and that's the way to go.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've seen
And
it's done that for me. So I can only imagine what it's gonna do for the rest of my symptoms. One,
yeah.
it's in my body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That was
So
just from
thank you for the
spring.
opportunity to be able to get it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for
Wow.
sharing that. That's powerful,
Wow.
man.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Look forward to it. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
definitely. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. That's amazing. That's a new one. I've never heard that one before. So, like I said to people, guys, it's like people ask me, "Oh, will it do this for that and that for this?" It's it's your body, my friends, and I've never seen one product that has so many different effects on the human body as this. Water is not what before. You may be excused to think, oh, just water's water, which Simone, we know Simone's daughter, that's what her tagline was. She tried to prove to her mum that this ain't gonna work. You just believe in anything, and then wow, how it helped with her cycle, the pain she was having every month. It was a game changer. And so we just don't know the effects. I'm going to share. If anybody else wants to share, that was such a really powerful testimonial there. And I love that screen name, Victorious. Absolutely, you are victorious. Beautiful. Amen. Amen. Um, Anybody else wants to share? I will come back to you if you do. I want to just share because of the time. Oh, we are literally at the hour mark, guys. So I'm gonna, I'm glad we had these testimonials. This is Thursday. We do testimonials. We on a Monday we speak about the business side of it. For those of you, we're gonna live longer and have more vitality, and we want to have our income going alongside of that as well, right? So on Mondays we focus a bit more on that as well. We have a focus on the income side, but tonight we're talking all about the product and the health benefits that you get from it. And so just to answer that question for people that say, somebody DM'd me and say, if somebody's got this, would it be that? And I'm like, well, all I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you guys. You heard some amazing testimonials already. I'm going to show you a website which I'm in the middle of, and it's a long task, but I'm committed. Right? Um, it's a long task, but did I see somebody's hand up? I'm not sure. Let me see. Oh, I clicked on somebody. I don't know if somebody had their hand up. I just lowered it by accident, but put your hand up if you
That was your
want to
hand.
come. Oh, that was my hand. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to lower my own hand for sure. So so let me show you. For those who are wondering, will it be good for this or good for that? This website, my friends, which I'm going to take the time to convert. I've done one of the videos. I've got a lot more to do. But this website is in Portuguese. All the videos are in Portuguese. But I just want to show you something. There's over 120 testimonials on this page. Now, can you see the menus? It doesn't matter the condition. We've got uric acid, we've got allergies, we've got anxiety, we've got cardiac, and a word I can't pronounce, arthritis, asthma, autism, and that's just A. And if I go to C, we've got cancer, we've got circulation, we've got cholesterol, and then if I go to D, depression. You get what I'm saying, guys. It doesn't matter what the issue is. We got lupus, we got Parkinson's, we got menopause. One thing when I first heard about this, I was listening to somebody with Parkinson's, and I'm like, no way, you guys are going to be lying. You're telling me that this person no longer shakes the way they were because of this water. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But we've heard testimonials, and I've actually met the person giving that testimonial on these calls, and actually in person. I met somebody who had some amazing testimonials, guys. It doesn't matter what the condition is. It's all form of disease. It could be inflammation of this and that. This water, my friends, bar anything else I've seen, has been a massive game changer. So guys, I know we are literally up in time. I'm going to close out with a couple more slides. I've just added, was on a call with Harold yesterday and a couple of people. And I'm like, I think Paulette and Lamanda. And I'm like, man, I'm going to add these to the slides. I want to show you this real quick, and then we're gonna call it a wrap. Because again, there's just no shortage of amazing testimonials that we are seeing with this product. So if I go back to my slides real quick, and I'm going to just quickly show you this one. I'm not even going to go show you the rest. I'm going to just end it on this. This was somebody who for 8 years had Vicaro's ulcer. 8 years, guys. I want you to understand how living with something like this for 8 years and then 25 days of drinking the water and bathing it on the wound. Yes, you can put this on your face, spray it. Just you heard his testimonials. Harold was spraying it on his eyes for the allergies. The beautiful lady just shared just her spraying it on her skin. Guys, I had a friend who had sciatica pain. Couldn't even go to her bedroom without crawling up the stairs, guys. And within a couple of days, she was putting it on the pain and drinking it, bathing with it. This is a game changer, guys. We're not here to try and convince you, cajole you, whatever. You try the product yourself. Give it, some people get a result within a month. Some people it takes 90 days. Some people, who knows? The body is doing something. That's one thing I know, right? One thing I know is that you're going to probably go to the washroom a lot more. You're going to probably get rid of some toxins that are in your body that you may thought you didn't need. Even people who drink a lot of water. And for me, when I hear these testimonials, is the reason why I do this. So guys, I'm going to stop the share. Um, Anybody wants to close out the meeting with a last final word? Um, Natalia, Harold, anybody who's part of business. Guys, we do this every Monday. We do this every Thursday. Same channel, same time. Invite a friend, invite a friend. And over to you, Natalia.
We said thank you for everybody who is new here, and Monday we have another one, and just share it, because what as friends show us today is amazing. Yeah, this will happen because if someone have, for example, pain, you drink this water, we have you establish your body no have pain. For me, is massive. And then for me, when I started to drink this water, I was to spend the 700, 600 pound every month in supplement. So
Wow.
this, when I start to drink this water, I see the result. I said, sometimes I can buy just 50, 60 pound in supplement. So this change my life, bring my life again, no? So this I'm said it's true what we have said, but sometimes you don't know because it's new. But when you start, the money with to buy is no nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and the
Yeah.
money as well we earn to help people as well is good. So let us to share more, because they have a lot of people sick today. If you go to the hospital, you see the nurse look like a zombie. Sometimes they give you medicine. I can't what you said is not yours, but they will give you because they don't have time, no for eating, for relaxing, no for 10 minutes. So it's very serious what we are see in this hospital and the clinic. Something is different. So let us continue to share it. And thank you, Augusto. Augusto is in Guinea-Bissau and Carmen. And Karma as well is prepare a big event there with the nurse in the hospital, doctors. So we go to have a good result.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Leroy. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome.
Thank you too,
Thank
Guys,
Natalia.
take care.
Thank you.
I'll drink
Thank
to
you.
that.
Because of you, because of
Mhm.
Natalia, I'm here. Thank you very much, Natalia. God bless you. God bless you.
Amen.
Yes, Natalia. Thank
And
Okay,
you.
God
bye.
bless all of us. God
Yeah.
Yes.
bless all of us.
That's
Okay.
great.
Bless you.
Yes.
Thank you,
Awesome,
Leroy.
guys.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Bless you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
guys.
Good
Thank you very
Leroy.
night.
much. We had
Good
See you,
almost
night.
Leroy.
40.
Good night,
Oh my days.
everyone.
Good
Let me
night.
just end
See
the
you, Leroy.
recording. I'm gonna have to cut this out.
God bless
Yeah.
My
everyone.
goodness.